Hi, CMattDye here. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully your day is going awesome. Let's get into the video. So I want to talk about volume first of all on the CNFT marketplace. So you can see last 24 hours we are up in volume, sales, assets sold. If we go to 7 days, we are down in volume, down in sales, down in assets sold. And 30 days, over the 30 days, we are actually down in volume. So down in volume, down in sales, down in assets sold. Overall, it's decent looking for sure. But we're down in the last 30 days, we're down in the past 7 days, we're up in the last 24 hours. What does that tell me? Well, let's go to the actual charts. Okay, this is the last 30 days, and you can see, you know, volume has kind of been there. It hasn't been too crazy. If we go to overall, it is bouncing off of this very low point that we hit. So it's bouncing off of that. Low point was on the 31st of May. So volume is bouncing off it a little bit from there. Looks like it's around 1.4 million. And this is the last 24 hours. Okay, last 7 days we are up over 1.2 million volume. The 31st hit a little bit over 800,000, which is fine, but we are in a definitely an interesting area to the market. You know, is volume going to start drying up? Is it not? We're down over the last 30 days, we're down over the last 7 days, we're up in the last 24 hours. 1 day does not a market make, but it is very interesting to see. So maybe these new projects are going to stop popping off as much as they are, and we might see some retracement on some of the ones that actually did. So, but before I get into the top 5, I'm going to talk about what I did for the week. It seemed like people enjoyed that, so this is what I did. I ended up buying a couple more sills. This is one of them. I bought some Pets R Us. I was already in the Pets R Us project, and I do like it. If you go to my website, you can see I got a new logo up here. Pets R Us made that. Reborns made it. So very excited about that. I took the background out, made it transparent, and I made it look good on the site. And this is the original if you want to see what the original looks like. So Pets R Us, great project. I'm going to put a video down in the description that I made if you're curious about it. Check that out if you're curious. They are still making names for people, but there's, you know, some kind of requirements probably. So if you're curious, if you want to check out this project, description below. So that's what I'm going to say about that. I did sell a blue bot. I listed it here. It'll sell above us. I bought some HPKs from old money. I got some inflation times, but I sold them. So made a little bit of profit on that. There's another seal that I got, some more OG Cardistax. I did sell another horse. I told you guys I was starting to exit that project, and I did get another Cardistax OG card, which gives me 3, and that's my sell of my blue bot. I am in the blue bot project, and I do like it. The moderators are really cool. The founder is really smart, and I do think that I believe that they're going to follow through on something, but I also know it's probably going to take a little bit longer than what I would like. So I did sell this guy, and I'm in the project for free, so you know, I'll take it for what it is and have fun. So that's what I did if you're curious about it. Let's go to the top 5 of the past week. So Salty Seagull Society is number 1. Yes, I am a little shocked. I don't believe in the project at all. My opinion. I'm not trying to spread any hate or anything. In Cardano, I am a believer in a rising tide lifts all boats. So that's where I stand on that. But I have to speak my mind, or I don't think I'm a good YouTuber if I don't. So Clay Nation, I'm a big fan of. Number 2, Spacebudz, bringing up number 3. Spacebudz, there's a lot of volume picking up. That's very interesting, and Spacebudz is an OG project. You know, nothing wrong with the Spacebudz project, and I know they do have some things coming up. I'm not familiar with him because I'm not in the project, but I know the founder's really good. He created a NAMI wallet. You know, he has tons of accolades. So this is Cornucopias. They just didn't get the name in. Open CNFT is not my favorite, and this is one of the reasons. But it has pulled back a lot. I'm going to get into that when we get into it. And then Ball Scout Rocket Club is number 5 of our top 5. We can see chilled Kongs down here. It is pulling back like what I was thinking, and it'll be interesting to see where it comes down to. So that's what I wanted to talk about. You also see Good Charlotte pumping as well at 880. Aqua Farmers is down in 250s, and it came below 250, so that's interesting. Just want to point that out because those are the 2 projects I was looking at having a pullback, and that's what's happening. So very interesting on that. Dead Rabbit Resurrection Society, no pullback in sight yet. So that's interesting. And pitches by Clay Nation hovering around the 350 area, which I was looking at it coming down to. So I'm just pointing those out, but let's get into the top 5. So number 1 is the Salty Seagulls Society. I'm not in the project, so I can't talk about what's going on. I know they had a lot of issues prior. The founder tried to sell them to somebody else, tried to throw everybody under the bus, which is terrible, but he's out of the project. And now other people are running it, and I'm not sure who. Is it the same people? Is it new people? I don't really know. But the price has been holding up quite well. I was expecting it to come a little bit below mint. It has not done that. So it stopped here about 160, came here about 145, 150. It is pumping a little bit around 195. If it gets below 120, I would look for it to stagnate. If it holds above that 150 level, then you can look for it to probably be able to go up a little bit more. That's kind of my view on that. 15,000 all-time high sell. You know, and they've had a lot of sells actually over 1,000. So it's not just one sell over 15,000. They've had a lot of sells over 1,000. So even though I don't like the project, it's got some volume. It's got people in it. It's got a community behind it. So that is why I'm thinking if it does hold above that 150 and takes off above that 200 floor and holds above that 200 floor, it can pump a little bit. So that's what I'm looking at on that one. Clay Nation, big Clay fan, and it's definitely starting to pump right now. They're talking about the Clay token, and they're handing out the Clay token based on rarity and rarity of the skin color. So like blues, greens, tans. On Good Charlotte, it would be pumpkins, reds. So definitely very interesting on that. 100,000 all-time high sell, and they've had a lot over 50,000, 60,000. You know, Clay's is a great project. I love it. It's an OG, and you can see it over here around end of March, just straight pumpage of price, and that was a lot due to the Snoop Dogg collaboration, and they actually had been working on it for like 4 months or something like that. But certain things, you just, legal reasons, you can't really divulge them until it becomes time, and you can. So, you know, I like that. The 2 founders are in the 30 over 30 in Forbes, which is very cool. And, you know, Clay's, the people that are in the project are like the Spacebudz people also. They don't sell that often. You know, a lot of people just hold. And that's one thing I do like about Clay's. One thing I can say about Spacebudz is that they hold the projects because they're believers. So Clay's, I would look, if this thing does take out 3,000 and hold above 3,000 on the floor, which, yeah, it did pop up here. It popped up over here and then came down. Now it's popping up over here. But if it can take that out and hold that, then these things can start taking off. If it does come back down, I would say maybe 25, 2,600 could be a buy point. But, you know, it's the market that we're in. It's really hard to tell. But if it does take out 3,000, and hold above maybe 31, 3200, chop around above there and not get back below 3000, it can take off. So that's interesting. Spacebudz, I was talking about that 5000, 5500 level, or 5000, 5500 zone being a spot where you could actually accumulate or get involved if you're not in the project. And I think that is very accurate, just because, you know, Spacebudz does have some kind of momentum and people are buying it. You can see, you know, they're in the top 5 for 2 weeks in a row, and it's a good project. So, you know, people are going to want to start getting involved. They have stuff coming up. They have a roadmap coming up. So I would not sleep on Spacebudz. Next is Cornucopias. Now, Cornucopias was a kind of a weird project. So they minted their land in 5 different phases. The top phase being like the largest land plot, the lowest being the small, which is what this is here. You can see it says small in this picture. So 185 right now is the floor, and I think the floor is minted for 120 if I'm not mistaken. So I'm expecting this to come a little bit lower. If it drops below the floor price, then some people are just going to start flipping it. You had a lot of people jump in this project to flip it, so I mean, it is going to come down. Watch that 120 to 150 level. Does it hold above that? If so, you know, you can see it base around a little bit probably and then move up a little bit. But, you know, it can come down just because we're in that type of market. Cornucopias is a project that's a longer term project. It's not something you're going to be able to do tomorrow or probably even next month. It's going to be a little while down the road. I'm not in the project personally, so I can't really tell you what's going on with it, but that's my thoughts. And just looking at this chart, you know, it's still basing. It hasn't found a floor yet, so that's why I'm looking at 120 to 150. Very, very interesting. If it breaks below 120, it's probably going to come below 100, and we'll have to see how it develops from there. So those are my thoughts on that. Next is Ballscat Rocket Club. And this is a project a lot of people are in. There's a lot of hype, and whenever there is a lot of hype, sometimes you get a lot of flippers. And I believe that's what happened with this project, is you have a lot of flippers, which is basically, you know, paper hand, whatever you want to call them. Is, you know, they jump in to make a little bit of profit. Well, they don't get it, and then they just start lowering the price. And, you know, they wait for a little while and then they lower the price again. They wait for a little while and they lower the price again. Well, this is a nice move up, but so was this right here, and so was this right here, so was this over here, so was this over here. So I don't think we're out of the woods yet with Ballscat Rocket Club, but it is a quality project. It's not a Spacebudz or a Clay in my opinion, but it's still a quality project. So Ballscat Rocket Club had a few issues in the beginning. I'm not going to get into that just because I believe it's a quality project. I don't think there's any reason to spread anything about it, but that's kind of what I'm seeing. I don't think this is going to take off. I think it's going to come up and probably come down again. I think 800 to 1,000 would be a great deal. I mean, a fantastic deal. 800 to 1,000. I don't know if it comes down that far. We did get it over here, and I said this in the last video, 800 to 1,000. It did come in that range down here, and it popped right back up. Can it come down again, and what will it look like? But I do think that's going to be a super fantastic deal. I don't really see it going below 800. If it did, I'd be shocked, but stranger things have happened. So anyway, that's what I'm looking at. That is our top 5. Very interesting to see the Salty Seagull Society up there. Congratulations on getting number 1. You know, Clay, Spacebudz, Cornucopias Land Mint, and then Ballscat Rocket Club. Yummies is still down here at 900. They popped recently, which was very interesting. Curious on chilled Kongs, and you know, waiting to see where that can actually go. So anyway, with that, that's the top 5. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed the video, throw a like. If not, throw a dislike. If you have any things you want me to do a little differently, that's what the comment section is for. Also, I encourage you to check out Pets R Us if you haven't already. So what they've done is they're halting their mint, and then they're going to come back and mint a little bit more, and they have lowered their supply. And the artist is awesome, so I encourage you to check out that video, get in their Discord if you are curious at all. Doesn't mean you have to buy anything, it's a couple minutes out of your day. So anyway, with that, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you around the crypto markets. Take care.